Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another brand new Haolonggood release, and this is actually kind of like the second half of the review of the Argentinosaurus, because these are the Huayangosaurus. Now, these figures can only be found in the set with the Argentinosaurus. So, unfortunately, if this is something you wanted to get a hold of, you have to get the Argentinosaurus to get this figure. And I feel like that probably is going to upset some, because I think there were probably a lot of people that wanted this figure alone, and since the Argentinosaurus is, pretty pricey, that obviously means that you'd have to pay a pretty big price tag to be able to get, again, that figure with this one. And at the same time, it is also really cool to have this species now in the line, and also just really cool to be able to get that kind of exclusive dinosaur if you do purchase the Argentinosaurus, because again, if you haven't, I highly recommend doing so. I can assure you 1,000 times over, you would never in a million years regret the purchase of that Argentinosaurus. It is far and away one of the coolest figures, maybe the #1 figure for me this year. Like, it seriously is unreal. But let's go ahead, jump to a closer look, and we'll check this figure out from there. Now, we really only need to go over one of these, because even though I have two, as you saw at the beginning of the video, it's the same figure. You don't get different color variants of this figure from one set to the other. So if you get two Argentinosaurus, you're going to get two of the same Huayangosaurus, just like you saw. But as you get here close to the head sculpt, you can see the head sculpt looks really good. And considering it's so small, you can see there within my fingertip, it's actually really impressive how nice the paintwork looks. You've got a really nice smooth transition from the greenish tones that we have for the primary body color to the light tone of the underbelly, and basically from the lower jaw and cheek area down. You can see that transition is really nice and smooth, naturalistic. They've also highlighted the mouth, the nostrils, everything very nicely with a dark wash, which is a huge plus, because sometimes figures just don't look very lifelike when they don't include things like that. But luckily for us, they have included that kind of wash and everything to help highlight the detail and make that head sculpt look absolutely gorgeous. We can see the eyes are painted with a black, and basically that's it, just a nice glossy black, which also looks nice. We can even see some slight variations of browns, it looks like, there in the eye area. As you lead up into the neck, you start to pick up more of those browns, actually, kind of like a dark brown striping that leads down from the plates, moving along the back of the dinosaur. Up there in the plates, first of all, we can see detail-wise they look really nice. Of course, they start to increase in size right past the head there, but even within the plates, you can see variation of color, as we have some of the browns creeping up into the plates. You also have like some oranges and yellows moving through, and of course the dark wash, again, definitely helping to pop the detail. As you move back a little bit further, you continue to see that dark wash highlighting even the detailing down here in the greenish areas, like specifically, if my camera would focus, there we go, in the neck you can really see the nice dark wash shining right there. We can see some skin wrinkles and folds as you lead down into the lower part of the neck. As you lead back into the shoulder area, first of all, we have the shoulder spike, very nicely sculpted. You can see the dark wash on that as well, helping to highlight the cracks and crevices of the shoulder spike. But I like that it starts out with a dark brown, transitions to a lighter brown, not a whole lot lighter, but definitely a little bit lighter as you move out there toward the tip of the shoulder spike. As you lead down the front leg, you can see more of those dark browns showing up, but again, nice variations of greens leading down. You've got the foot sculpt really nicely done, the toes again sculpted nicely, and the nails painted with a nice glossy black. As you lead up into the stomach of the dinosaur, you can see a lighter tone, basically overtaking the stomach, but it's not a whole lot lighter compared to the green that you have up here, just a little bit of a different variation of green for that area. We can also see how the leg is kind of stretching the skin as the dinosaur is walking along. You can see the skin stretching off of the stomach right there. You have a whole bunch of skin wrinkles and folds right in front of the thigh. You can also see some osteoderms and stuff as you lead back here through the course of the stomach, larger and smaller osteoderms. We continue to have that dark brown striping down from the back of the dinosaur, and we continue to as well have those same colors up there again with the different variations of oranges and yellows and even dark browns kind of reaching up. As you lead down the thigh, you can see the muscle definition looks really nice. We can also see the skin detail when it comes to the walking position. Again, the way the skin's kind of reacting in the back of the leg. We can see the calf muscle bulging right there, the knee in the front of the leg, and you can see how the toes are picking up off of the ground as the dinosaur's taking a step, which looks really nice. Again, the nails painted with that dark tone. And then we lead up into the tail, and as we lead out, the coloration seems to pretty much remain the same. Again, basically the greenish tones with some slight hints of like oranges and browns showing up here and there. And then we have the dark brown kind of striping down, and we also have that dark wash at play as you lead out. The tail is slightly curved, but not a whole lot as far as the curvatures go. And as you lead out to the thagamizers, you can see again, we have pretty much the same sort of paintwork as we have like slight oranges and browns as you lead out. Just no yellows or anything out here, but they look really good. And again, that dark wash definitely helps to highlight the detail. As you move along the underside, you can see the detail down here looks quite nice. We have the cloaca and everything, and you can see the underbelly of our dinosaur also sports some more really nice paintwork, as well as again that dark wash present. And then when we turn the dinosaur around, you're going to basically see the same thing, of course, for both sides. We can see there's more dark brown in the face on this side compared to the other side, though. You have kind of like a dark brown that runs down into the side of the cheek, but that's not really something that I would feel like is unnatural or anything. I could feel like that's definitely something you might see on an actual, living dinosaur. So I do see that often on different, animals where you see a little bit of a different color from one side to the other. But as you lead back, you can see basically the same thing. The dinosaur's got its head kind of facing down like it's coming in for a bite to eat or maybe a drink. The only big difference from here compared to the other side is the positioning of the legs. You see the legs are much closer together on this side compared to what we saw on the other side, kind of scrunching the skin in the belly up a little bit right there. And then you lead out again into the tail, which looks really nice. So absolutely far and away, in my opinion, the best version of this species on the market. As far as a size goes for the figure, for a length from the tip of the thagamizer to the snout, you are looking at about 5¼ inches, or a little over 13 centimeters, heading toward 13½. And then for a height, the back of the dinosaur is right around 2 inches, or about 5 centimeters in height. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Haolonggood, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect Day Human Being next to our Haolonggood Huayangosaurus, and you can see it's definitely a small figure. Absolutely is way tinier than most Haolonggood releases, but at the same time, they have released a few smaller species in their time, releasing figures. And for a size comparison to show you that, first of all, we have the Diabloceratops from Haolonggood, which you can see these figures next to each other are very similar in size, so not too far off if you have the Diabloceratops. We've also got the Edmontonia, which you can see is a bit larger, as well as the Huayangosaurus, which you can see is a bit larger as well. Of course, you would expect it to be. But just for an idea of a size with this figure next to the Argentinosaurus that it came with, that shot right there should help to give you a pretty good idea of the fact that this figure is a whole lot smaller than the gigantic Argentinosaurus it came from. And if we just kind of come back here briefly, we don't really even need to bring the entire dinosaur into screen. You can just generally see again, the size difference is obviously massive here. So this brand new Haolonggood Huayangosaurus is awesome. Another beautiful figure from them, and one that I'm really excited to have in my collection, especially one that is so high quality like this one is. There aren't all that many figures out for this species. You don't see it get made too often, so it's really nice to have a good high quality version from Haolonggood. And honestly, anytime Haolonggood releases a new species, I think it's a great day. But this one again is just kind of like a double whammy since it came with the Argentinosaurus. But sculpt wise, it's really well done. It has a very nice naturalistic pose, I would say, and a lot of very impressive fine detail. The paintwork helps to highlight the detail, especially as we have a dark wash on the figure, which works perfectly to add a whole lot of realism and also amplify the detail and of course capture different areas like the nostrils and mouth and everything. But on top of that, I think the coloration looks really good, really naturalistic as a whole. It's very intriguing to me that this one looks as good as it does as far as the paintwork goes, because it kind of shares a similar color scheme to the Kentrosaurus that Mattel released recently. And when it comes to that figure, I didn't really like the green with the orange plates that much, but for some reason it looks a lot nicer on this figure. Like, it looks very naturalistic and extremely appealing to the eye. So I again find that kind of humorous that I didn't like it that much on the Kentrosaurus from Mattel, but it looks so much better on this figure. But again, the paintwork is nice and naturally applied as you move through the course of the figure. Very smooth transitions. Again, nice natural application of the patterning and everything like that. So overall, an absolutely awesome addition to the Argentinosaurus release, and definitely a fantastic figure as a whole in its own right. Again, absolutely worth picking up. So if you are interested, I will include a link in the description to where you can purchase the Argentinosaurus from Lana Time Shop. Now, I'm not absolutely positive if you can still get this figure, because the Huayangosaurus was supposed to be, I think, coming with just the pre-order of the Argentinosaurus, so I'm not absolutely sure if this figure is still available anymore. And I also don't know if Haolonggood has any sort of plans to release a standalone version of this in the future. But of course, if I get that information, I will update you guys here on the channel in a news video. But regardless, check the links in the description. Definitely pick up at the very least the Argentinosaurus, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.